Hello, I'm Kim. I learned a lot of new things in this module, for example, risk assessments. And one risk assessment that was very focused on was COMPASS. And COMPASS uses a scale on 1 to 10, and where 1 roughly is 10% of rearrest, and 2 is 20%, 3 is 30, and so on and so on. So I learned that these risk assessments are basically pseudoscience because of what I've learned from this module. For example, in Dr. Schwartz's video, she said how this risk assessment is no science. There's no science that supports the validity of the algorithm used in this to calculate the score. Also, how there is basically an inherently racial bias towards these scores that are made. Also, there's different studies out there. For example, there's ProPublica, and they had 2 points that were very, very shocking to me, saying how blacks were labeled 2 times as more likely as whites to be rearrested, but blacks were never rearrested. And the other point was saying how whites were labeled more of like a low risk compared to blacks, as they were labeled as a high risk. And to go more further into this, the article that we had to read, it was machine bias, and they had a case between 2 people. So it was between Borden versus Prater. And Borden, who is black, and Prater, who is white, obviously, according to this algorithm, Prater had a low score, and then Borden had a high score of a high risk. And to give more of a past background information, Prater was more of a seasoned criminal, and he already convicted a lot of different crimes such as armed robbery. He also served 5 years in prison. Borden had a record too, but it wasn't as severe. He had misdemeanors that he committed when he was a juvenile. And then studied 2 years later, they found out that this risk system, the computer algorithm, was completely wrong, got it completely backwards. They saw that Prater is serving now a 8-year prison due to him stealing thousands of dollars worth of electronics. But then on the other hand, you have Borden that didn't commit new crimes at all. He's completely fine. He's not convicted of anything. So I really do not think they should be allowed in court, as in even a judge shouldn't use their decision making based on this. Because if this system has errors and faults, and using this and the risk assessments are not correctly scientific based, why would you want to use it for determine someone's life and for them to like be more likely put into prison because of this? So thank you for listening, and I really enjoyed it, so hope to hear you guys' comments.